start it up? Let's roll.
Oh,
All right.
how about you, Ed? You like
Hey,
the
now.
booze?
Nah.
Come on!
I mean, I used to like it, and it does weird things to my heart.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's bad for you.
So I just kind of stopped. It kind of sets my heart in weird rhythms, and
Oh, jeez.
I don't like
Shit.
So you just stick with cocaine.
yeah. I drink cocaine.
That's
Weird.
That is
Yeah,
tough.
it's super weird, but it's great.
I wonder if that would work if you mixed it in like a liquid IV, you know, if that would get
No
you.
one's ever wanted to waste that much cocaine.
I guess
so-
you're right. It would
Yeah.
dissolve.
What I do is I melt it.
Yeah.
See, and then I get it in a syringe and I inject it into my eyeball.
Is that freebasing?
No,
that's where you smoke it.
It's free balling. That's called free balling.
This is the nerdiest drug conversation ever.
I know.
Is that what freebasing? I don't know what it is.
This is like those conversations a kid has with their dad, where
Right.
it's like, where the dad's like, "Now listen, I don't want you to do the coke, the thing that you snort." And
Yeah.
you're just like, "Dad, you don't snort marijuana."
Yeah.
Dad's
Yeah.
like, "How do you know? You already
Right.
know too much."
You got to test your weed. There's fentanyl in it. And you're like, Dad.
Did
way
people
off.
did people always try to do a shot with you after the hangover?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, that was Hangover fans like to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it that way. So when that movie came out, it was a lot of like, we're buying you shots, and they'd like shove a shot in your face, and if you didn't drink it, you could get punched.
Yeah, isn't that weird? They get really upset if you
Yeah.
don't drink it. You're like, I
And-
never asked for this.
Most of the time, I was happy to oblige.
Yeah.
Yeah, till the heart failure.
Yeah, till things got weird.
Yeah.
We have a friend, Joe DeRosa, who I feel like likes funerals because you can't turn down the shot.
Mm.
You can't be like, well, to Dave. You got to be like, all right, fine.
Yeah, he actually goes to funerals he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Sure, he's a
And
funeral crasher.
Yes.
Sure,
Hey,
why not?
Sequel.
Right.
Equal.
That's not bad.
But yeah, I feel like old school fans, hangover fans, I feel like they want to do a shot with, you know.
Yeah. Office fans are like, let's have a craft brew.
Right.
Let's have
An
let's have a,
IPA.
let's have a nice conversation over a craft brew.
That's cool. I'm down for that.
Amen.
I feel like The Hangover, it was 2008, 2011, and 2013, the three trilogy.
I think you're off a little bit.
Pull that up there, Fatty.
Wasn't it like 2010 or 11, the first one?
But I feel like that was the last run for the fun, loving comedy movie, and you got in.
I think Hot Tub Time Machine was like the last one.
What year was that?
That was it, right?
I
don't
feel like
know.
it kind of cut off around there, but you guys got them in at the buzzer, and they
We
were
snuck that one in there.
yeah, and they were all great.
Hangover is one of the last comedies I remember seeing in the theater.
It's 09 was the first one,
Oh, is that
11.
right?
09.
And
I
13.
mean, did Bridesmaids come after
Yeah.
Hangover?
Yeah.
Bridesmaids.
I saw that in the theater, but how many comedies can you remember? Like
Tropic Thunder.
that
was awesome.
Was that before?
Ooh, yeah.
I think it was a little later.
I think it was before.
Oh, really?
I think Tropic Thunder was before.
But there's something about, I guess, like live shows of it. You know, thank God for us because we tour all the time and people come out to see stand up. But I mean, I feel like back in the day, like it was
Take it
great to see a comedy in a packed
Oh, it was
theater.
the best.
Oh man, I remember we're like sort of Midtown West here, right? In this-
Yeah.
So I remember when I lived here, going to see Something About Mary. 'Cause I was such a huge Ben Stiller fan from the Ben Stiller show, and I was, it was early. What year was that? Pull that one up.
94. I'm calling.
No.
96.
Wait, okay, 98. So I moved here in 96. I'd just been here for 2 years, just struggling to get those open mic spots and doing as much comedy as I could, and I loved Mr. Show and the Ben Stiller Show and all those great shows and like Ben Stiller's in a movie. Oh my God! And I went by myself.
Yeah.
And it was in this neighborhood
Huh.
because for some reason I lived in Brooklyn, but this was where maybe it was I snuck out of work or something, and I sat in this packed theater by myself, and it was like one of the best movie going experiences ever because I loved that movie. When I first saw it, I was crying in the theater, sitting in by myself between it was packed.
Yeah.
Because that's when theaters were packed. When a movie came out and people were excited, like they packed theaters.
Oh yeah,
And-
and it was real. That was back when water cooler talk. Everybody was talking about the jizz in the hair and the Franks and beans and the like the Brett Favre of it all. That was a hell of a time.
Matt Dillon, such a killer in that movie.
Oh,
and it's all killers. Like Lee Evans kills it, and like Chris Elliott. Like everyone's amazing.
Yes,
but Matt Dillon,
he stole it with forehead like a drive-in movie theater.
Oh, it's also amazing because I saw we were on the road once. We downloaded, I guess, like the extended version of it, and the scenes they chose to cut were exactly right. Like they just
interesting.
They just kind of disrupted the momentum. It was one of those things where they nailed it.
Yeah, that's good. That's reassuring when that happens.
Yeah. Well, some comedies they
don't nail it.
I love it. I love a tight comedy. I love a 90-minute comedy.
You got to keep it tight. I remember when we were shooting those Hangovers, and we'd be shooting scenes like that you shoot out a sequence, but we'd be doing the scenes that are like towards the end of the movie. And Todd Phillips, the director, was always just like, faster, guys, faster. And we're like, well, we're just trying to get the lines out. He's like, it's the end of the movie. It's the race to the finish, which was he kept saying, it's the race to the finish, which I think he said was something that Ivan Reitman told him. It's like a critical sort of comedy thing. When you're making a comedy, that third act, it's just like guns blazing.
Interesting.
You gotta go.
You can't go Irishman on a comedy. You gotta keep it tight. I mean,
they're just old in a prison dying. Isn't that funny?
Although that scene where he beat up the guy was pretty.
That was pretty funny.
But yeah,
he did not look young.
Seinfeld too. They were like, here's a Brinks truck full of money. Make 8 more seasons, and he's like, now we're cutting it here.
Yeah,
the show's over. It's all about timing. You got to know when to wrap it up.
Yeah, it's Hangover. Did you know when you're making that, you're like, this is really good?
I think we knew that we were having like an unprecedented amount of fun. And so we all felt like we were onto something. There's never, at that point, none of us were very well known. So there was no sense that like, oh, this is going to be a hit. But we definitely knew we were making something that we were going to love and be proud of. And we would hope people would see it. And honestly, I think that energy is what that's like anything. I think that carries projects, is like when you can feel that the team involved, whether it's the cast and sometimes the crew and everybody, is like when you can feel that they're psyched.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a comedy or a drama or an action movie. When you can feel the cast, I would say the same thing about The Office. Like, everybody on The Office loved The Office and loved making it and loved being in that conference room together and cracking each other up. And that, I think, is like this intangible magic that makes the product good. And it's
totally.
like that love that a cast brings to something is what sort of opens the door for an audience to feel that way.
You can feel it on like those Seth Rogen, Franco movies. They're actual friends.
God.
You can feel it, not anymore.
Yeah,
but they're actual friends, and you can feel it in the movie for sure.
This is the end.
Yes, Pineapple Express.
I love those movies.
They're so good. That was like a crazy stretch. Like we really took for granted. I was sick a couple weeks ago, and I Love You Man just came on, and I was like, oh shit, this is funny.
Yes.
I forgot these are just all funny.
Oh my God, Sandberg in that movie.
Yeah,
is just
he's great. We used to have comedies. It was like
that was like a crazy amount of hit comedies at once.
Yeah.
Like Forgetting Sarah Marshall was on too. I was like, this is hilarious.
Isn't that weird? Because my agent's always like, comedies don't play well in theaters now. And you're like, but that's what's supposed to be a theater. Comedy and horror are great for theater or for movie theaters. Like, it should be where
horror still hits.
Horror hits, but they say comedy in a movie theater is no go anymore.
Which is insane, because you would think like comedy clubs are a thing because people like to laugh together.
Yes.
I think that might be hurting it. Is how many live acts are on the road right now? I think people are like, I'll just go see this live show.
Wait, what's it?
I think there's so many live shows in any city at a given time that they're like, instead of going, and there aren't that many comedies being made. So I think those two combined, how many comedies are in the theater, first off, and then secondly, like, there's 8 comedians doing a show. There's all these comedy clubs. They're theater act comics, And
at a comedy club, you're going to get the Elon Musk jokes. You're going to get the Trump jokes. You're going to get that. I think people are craving that because the news is so bonkers. Yeah, and you're not going to get that with a comedy movie.
Yeah.
It's just a movie about a lady who's autistic and gay or whatever.
All right.
We hope it comes back. We're trying to make a movie right now. We want comedies. I love seeing a comedy movie in a theater.
Oh yeah, especially a black theater.
Yes.
Nothing better. I saw American Pie in a black theater, and that added an element. Popcorn flying, riffing, their own jokes. It was great.
I saw 12 Years a Slave in a white theater. Not a good experience.
Oh boy,
It wasn't good. No. But
Yeah.
when you were on The Office, we were talking about that before. Matt and I were talking about that before you came here, about how you showed up. It was season 3, right?
correct. Yeah,
That's a hard thing to be, the guy who shows up and becomes a fan favorite. Like
Yeah.
I think about like Married with Children, and when Jefferson showed up, and people wanted to hate that guy. You know what I mean? I know it's a different show, but like I think that guy was great on Married with Children.
Ted McGinley?
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of comedy.
But yeah, you're kind of like the enemy of Dwight. You show up and you become like, you just embrace it, man. It's great.
Tough shoes.
Yeah, it was that there was something about that moment where the show had decided to kind of bounce Jim over to this Stamford branch, and so that obviously needed a cast. It wasn't we weren't introduced as an intrusion into Dunder Mifflin. We were sort of introduced as this kind of satellite thing, and I think that made it easier for fans to sort of digest. And then I would also just share that the cast and the writers and the whole sort of Office community, when we showed up, and when I say we, I mean Chip Estley, who played our boss there in the Stanford branch, and Rashida. When we showed up as these new characters, we were so embraced by the cast and everyone. I think there are situations where like cast members can feel threatened by new people, or there can be sort of bad mojo or bad energy. Like, hold on, this is our show. But there was none of that, and the writers were so excited and to welcome us. And again, like, that's the energy that we're feeling, and the cast is bringing, and audiences feel that too. I think all of that sort of comes through the screen, and it was it made it so much easier. I felt like we just got landed in this nice warm basket.
Yeah.
it was amazing.
I mean, the show is just never not on. My wife watches it to fall asleep. No offense, that sounds bad, but like, it's just such
it's a comfortable watch. It is.
Yeah. Now wait, I didn't know you did stand up. I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
In New York?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Was that the entrance to comedy?
That was the on ramp.
Wow.
Yeah, because I like everybody else, I wanted to be on Saturday Night Live or something like that, and so I moved here right after college. I went to college in Ohio, and I moved here, and almost right away just started. I mean, at that time, I don't even think the internet was much of a thing. This was like 97, so there was internet, but it was like, wow. I found all the
holy shit.
What year are we talking here?
Well, so that was my big appearance on.
You look like Dwight here. This is crazy.
Right.
Wow.
Look at those
but you made it.
Baggy jeans.
Yeah.
You made it to TV, so this is you got there.
Yeah.
Well, when was Daily Show? When did that start?
That started 2002.
That's
for me.
crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
That cast that you were on is like, that's like the 70s SNL cast, but for the Daily Show. That's a crazy cast.
Who are we
dude.
talking? John Oliver, or was that pre?
Oh no,
he wasn't there yet.
Very pre-John. When I started,
Lewis Black.
Well, actually, when I first started, Steve Carell was still on it.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So
there it is.
So we overlapped. There's a cast photo from that time. Might be that big one there. Yeah, that's the one.
Did that have anything to do with you getting on The Office, or just a coincidence?
It all helps.
Yeah, I think it's all. But that's the one that I was.
Wait, zoom in.
Was like right when I started. So you had Lewis Black, Mo Rocca, Colbert, Carell, Nancy Walls.
Oh yeah.
I
had a thing for her.
Rob Corddry, obviously, and DiCario. Right.
Wow.
And Attell was on like right before that, right?
Yeah, there were.
Wow.
Yeah, and who? I think Vance DeGeneres was also I overlapped with for a minute, A. Whitney Brown.
Oh yeah,
who had been on Saturday Night Live
That's
and
right.
was on the Daily Show.
God,
but
it's so white. Isn't that wild? It's a different time.
It is very white.
Very, very much so.
It's like a diner in the 50s.
But I think that's around 2000. That must be 2002.
Yeah.
That was right when I started. I couldn't be more thrilled to be in that photo. I remember that photo shoot. I just was like, I can't believe I'm sitting here with these people.
I remember Colbert and Carell did Steven versus Steven. That was like a crazy era of just really funny.
Yeah.
So much talent there.
But then after that, it pared down to this. Then there was a good like 2 years where it was just Sam B, Rob Corddry, Stephen Colbert, and me as like the 4 correspondents.
Was that scary because they kept whittling down? It was like a reality show. You get eliminated.
It was thrilling. I mean, we were so busy. That was also a time when we just did field pieces relentlessly.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what kind of crushed New York for me. I was in and out of the city so much on the basic cable budget travel. So it was like La Quinta Inns on Southwest Airlines to Homer, Alaska, or like all over the country, in and out of New York City airports, which if you do constantly, because the New York City airports are hard to get to.
Yeah, we know.
Like
we're on the road every week.
It's just it's crushing.
It's crushing
over time.
Yeah, making those flights, security, the terminal. What seat am I in? It's brutal.
Oh, and you get sick all the time. Yeah, I think about the early years of the road and how grueling they were. That now, when you have any comfort in travel, I'm like, this is incredible. You know, you really don't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
Man.
But it was
so you made it.
heady days.
Yeah, but you did it. You did the stand up. You got the premium blend. Then you got the Daily Show. This is like a textbook career here.
Yeah, and there was a lot of improv mixed in there. After about 3 years of like grinding and stand up, the Upright Citizens Brigade was emerging.
I remember.
And I was like, I want to join that crowd. They're doing really cool stuff. So I did that, and it was kind of a mix there.
Wow, man, what a career, what a run. That is wild.
Yeah.
Do you remember any old bits?
Old stand-up bits?
Yeah, give me like your big A, foolproof, bulletproof, never failed zinger.
Let's see.
No N-word, please. Try to keep it clean.
So this is one that was pretty reliable. There was an ad for I think like American Airlines at the time, and the slogan was "the way you'd run an airline." And I was like, the way I'd run an airline? I don't know how to fly a plane. I don't know. You'd get on an airplane and it'd be like, "Ladies and gentlemen, I got to be honest with you, I have no idea how to fly this plane. Is it cool if we just drive to Phoenix? Just so you know, you'll all be getting lap dances in about 5 minutes." And just on, on and on.
That's great.
That's cool.
Wow.
Do you feel like your voice as a stand-up is similar to the characters you play in movies and stuff?
Maybe a little bit like Andy Bernard. You know, one of my big influences was Brian Regan.
Yo,
sure. So the way that Brian the way I loved Brian's, and Gaffigan does this a lot too. Like they kind of play idiot versions of themselves. So they'll set up a story, and then they'll kind of play themselves as the dolt in the story, and their voice changes a little bit. And so I kind of took after that. Like that was I just loved that type of joke writing and storytelling. And so that the voice that I would take on as the sort of idiot version of myself may have kind of crept into Andy Bernard a bit. But otherwise, no, I don't think so. Like Stu.
Do you still have like stand-up thoughts?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We do a thing like called working on any bits.
Yeah, I got a whole list.
Oh man,
on my phone. Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Really?
I keep it going.
Can we talk about something?
Sure. Yeah. I still do stand up occasionally, like at
I didn't know
mostly at Largo in LA.
Sure.
But yeah, you want to let's see.
Oh boy,
I'll give you a dry run on a couple of things.
Oh, by the way, check out the book Snafu.
Oh,
Get the book.
Can we talk about the book?
Of course.
Sorry.
Guys, I'm on my book tour, for God's
Sorry,
sake.
we got the book here.
I'm telling you, my dumb jokes
Well, that's
that I put no thought into. I've just put it a little. Meanwhile, I spent years pouring my heart into this book.
We'll get
I
the-
wanna-
We can do
I wanna
both.
talk
We can
about
do
the
both.
book.
We'll
All
do
You want
right.
to do book first? You want to do stand up
Let's
first?
talk book.
All right,
Let's
all right.
tease the stand-up.
It's
Okay,
and
tease.
talk book.
It's an awesome idea for a book. It's really cool, man.
It's spun out of my podcast. I started a podcast a couple of years ago called Snafu, and it's really, really. I'm insanely proud of it. There are 3 seasons out now. Each season is like a deep dive. It's like a heavily produced, like immersive audio production into one major historical snafu. A snafu being a disaster.
Is it a
It's an
alliteration?
acronym.
Acronym.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Something fucked up.
Yeah, situation normal, all fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
Meaning-
it's like Fubar.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Or Fubu.
Yeah.
Fubar, fucked up beyond all recognition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the podcast was just this sort of marriage of my kind of nerdy love of history with, well, like what's funny about history? Well, obviously the screw ups are funny.
Yeah.
And so we built this great team. I've got a bunch of researchers that help out with the podcast and help put it together, audio producers, and then also we just had a flood of ideas, and I was like, I'm putting this in a book. And the book is different from the podcast in that it's a book and not a podcast, but it's different because it's just basically a compendium of snafus as opposed to like a deep dive into one thing.
Yes.
So every chapter, there's 31 chapters, and they're all different. Each one's a different snafu. So it's perfect to just like pick up at the beach and open up anywhere and just read a chapter.
Can you tease a snafu for us?
Hell yeah.
What's a
All
great?
right.
What's a great snafu?
There's so many great ones. So it's divided into decades, 50s to the present, and let's see.
Got to be a lot of military snafu.
Yeah, it's a lot of like
Yeah.
CIA, FBI. One of my all-time
Pearl
favorites.
Harbor. That was a snafu. Right?
Ooh, big snafu. No, but that's actually, you bring up a good point. So you're not going to find a lot of things in the book that you've heard of. So that was part of my like curatorial decision, was to kind of like not do World War II,
Right.
Right.
or like the Titanic. It's more kind of obscure stuff. So
funny to think of the Titanic as a snafu.
yeah.
Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Wow.
So let's see. In the 1950s, the Cold War is heating up. The Soviets and America are both trying to flex nuclear power, right? So somebody in the CIA gets this brilliant idea. Maybe we can shoot a nuclear missile at the moon and detonate, a nuclear explosion on the moon. The Soviets will see it, and they'll be shaking in their boots, right? Because they'll be so rattled that we have the firepower to hit the moon with a nuclear weapon.
Sounds like a movie premise.
Yeah.
Well,
Strangelove shit.
it is. It's literally Strangelove.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff. Like, I'll tell you more. It's like very Strangelove level stuff. A lot of this stuff feels like it was written by comedy writers. But it
Wow.
is sadly real. And Carl Sagan, when he was right out of grad school, worked on this particular project. They eventually realized, you know what? It's probably not a good idea, because if anything goes wrong, if we miscalculated at all, it's very probable that the missile could slingshot around the moon and come right back and hit the Earth. They also realized that it really probably wouldn't even be visible from the Earth. The thinking being it'd just be like a little dust cloud or something.
Right.
But just the idea of nuking the moon and like getting as far as they did is absolutely insane. There's there's another great story about let's see. Oh, the CIA tried to basically weaponize cats. So everyone knows cats can hear really well because their ears are kind of that cup shape, and they can turn. They're directional. So someone hatched the brilliant idea to surgically implant microphones into cats' ears and then train the cats to go and like sit next to bad guys in the park so you could listen in and do your espionage.
Yeah.
And,
Just scratching sex offenders in the park.
yeah.
Every villain has the cat on the lap. You get all the info.
I guess so. But what they failed to take into account is that it's real hard to train a cat to do pretty much anything.
Yeah.
So there's no cat in the police or the fire department.
Yeah, there are canine units.
Exactly.
Drug sniffing dogs.
Yep.
There
I
ain't
get
feline
nervous when I see them at the airport, even though I don't have drugs on me.
Same.
I get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You got to do that walk, and they let the dog sniff you. You're like, how do you know where I've been? You know, I could have been at a party last night.
Yeah.
Fentanyl. But yeah, that's great. This feels very male. I feel like if there's one woman in the room, she'd be like, wait, shooting a rocket at the moon? Come on, fellas.
I think you're 100% right. I totally agree with you. And it does, like, there's another, I get into all the ways that the CIA tried to assassinate Fidel Castro or explored, like, different possibilities.
A lot of snafus, yeah.
There were,
right?
Yeah, that was one of them. But there were over 630 plans. And
630? What's the weirdest one?
Well, the weirdest
Cats.
one, they tried to train a cat to bite his face off. It
was a sloped roof.
The weirdest one. Okay, so they tried to hatch a plan where someone would put thallium salts into his shoes. Now, this is a particular kind of toxin to humans that makes your hair fall out. And the thinking was that if they can get Fidel Castro's beard to fall out of his face, then he will lose his manhood and lose his leadership over Cuba.
Right.
Which is so Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Like what? It's like how many steps? But this was explored, and even it got to the stage of like almost attempting. And when you look at the list of ideas and you start to think about how absurd they are and how crazy they are, it really does feel like a comedy writer's room.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like sitting around just pitching the dumbest shit.
That's where they needed Doge to go in and like look up all the fucked up, wacky ideas. We're going to get his beard out. That'll kill his ego.
I remember hearing something a long time ago about Che Guevara. The doctor said you got to only do 2 cigars a day because it's killing you. Mm-hmm. And he just started smoking cigars like this long. Like, oh, what a cool move! Yeah.
Damn, that's great. I had a baby recently. That was a snafu. But this is great. I can't wait.
It is interesting
This
stuff.
could be a movie or like a TV show.
A lot of them could be movies.
Yeah.
Or a series, like miniseries.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you do a podcast.
Or it could be like a history of the world type movie.
Yes.
Like Mel Brooks style.
Yeah.
Just do all of them in one movie.
Totally. All right. Well, get the book, folks.
Check it out.
And check out the pod.
Snafu.
What's the best place for people to buy it?
Basically, today is, I don't know when this will air, but today is publication day. It's anywhere you get your books.
Okay.
And a really easy place to go is just snafu-book.com. I also did the audiobook. I read every single word.
Wow.
Was that exhausting?
It was took a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do it in chunks. Just so
Yeah.
you don't hate yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you ever think you'd write a book?
No. I didn't. I started, I guess, a few years ago. I started to think, I got some funny ideas. I got some fun stuff to say. And it started to become this possibility. And also, like, my agent was kind of like, hey, you should write a book. You ever think about writing a book? I'm like, all right, because, people write books. And it can be a fun outlet and just another creative outlet. So I didn't have an organizing principle for it. It wasn't a spark until I started working on Snafu, the podcast. And I was like, pretty early on, I was like, there's a book in here. Like something's going to come out of this in book form. And here it is.
You think Hitler's agent did that? Like, you're doing so great. Write a book.
Write a book.
And he's like,
I already did. No one.
it's like, wait a minute,
doing
you
water.
Jewish?
I've been doing watercolors.
Yeah.
Nobody likes those.
All right. Come on. Give me one bit, Helms.
One bit.
Give me something.
All right.
And you seem pretty like a clean comic. Were you clean?
I mean, I said bad words.
But no, you weren't
Yeah, but he also said Gaffigan and Regan. That's why you're thinking clean, right?
Maybe you're right.
Yeah. I think I was generally. I did a bunch of like, I did like some corporate shows and college gigs and stuff, and I was generally pretty clean.
When you did college, did they send you out with other comics?
Oh, yeah.
Who'd you go out with?
I did a really crazy tour once with Christian Finnegan.
Oh,
nice.
And Doug Stanhope.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not the three I would have envisioned.
Yeah. Well, it was.
We love Doug.
Oh, Doug's what a just wild character.
Mm-hmm.
That one was crazy. We went to. I remember we had a stop at Ohio University, I think, or no, it was the University of Ohio, and it was Parents' Weekend. And if there's anybody you don't want on stage during Parents' Weekend at your college, it's Doug Stanhope. Especially in the Midwest, in a conservative area like Ohio. So he gets on stage, and he had at the time he was doing a lot of material that was kind of like Christian baiting, like just kind of nitpicking things in the Bible and this and this and that. And some parents like stood up and started to leave, or some audience people started to leave, and so one dad stood up and started to heckle him, but it really turned into this like theological debate.
Whoa.
And never debate Doug Stanhope on theology or anything, because he's just dialed.
Yes.
He's got it all. He's relentless,
And he's quick.
Yeah, he's so fast, and he has a microphone.
Right.
Like people should know you shouldn't argue with comedians because they have microphones.
Yes.
That's always a trump card. And
he has one of my favorite lines. I said it when he did our pod, but when he said, "When I do comedy, it's like taking you into war. You're not all going to be here at the end." I love that.
Yeah.
Also has a book, I believe.
I think a couple books.
Jeez, if Doug can write a book,
yeah,
we got to get to work.
Well, he's in Bisbee, Arizona. He's not
That's
doing
true.
sets every night.
That's true.
Oh, there we go. That's a good pick. So
Oh, God.
Look at
Right
that.
on. How recent is that?
That's not too long
a couple
ago.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Still cold out.
I would guess that the tour that I'm talking about was over 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like 2002.
Wow.
Something like that.
Damn. Boy,
Yeah.
you've lived.
Yeah. Oh, I've had a life, boys.
And you're 51. You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
How do you
All
do
right.
it?
Yeah. What is that? What are you doing to?
Well, I inject cocaine into my eyeballs. You know what's funny is you pulled up that premium blend clip, and like I'm in better shape now than I was.
Yeah.
Then. Like I just didn't take care of myself for a long time, and people. It's funny. I feel better. I'm more active, and I eat better.
Mm-hmm.
That's been my big lifestyle change.
That's really all it is. People have all these books on losing weight and getting healthy, and you're like, just walk around, eat a salad, and
The hotter it gets outside, the more often your dick and balls turn into a sweaty blob down there. Get Sheath underwear and stop those trips to the bathroom to mop up the sweat. Sheath has 2 pouches, one's for your dick, the other is for your balls. That means nothing is getting stuck together, keeping things cool and separated. Am I wearing them today? Let me check. Boom, Sheath. Every day. I wear them every day, and I get compliments in these. The ladies like Sheath, folks. And I'm sure the fellas do, too.
Why not?
Makes you look good. I'm sure the non-binaries love Sheath. They're great.
Sure.
It's awesome. I wear them every day, and they don't turn into Swiss cheese undies or great undies. Give it a shot. Once you try it, you'll never wear anything else. Go to sheathunderwear.com and use code DRUNK to get 20% off your first order. Plus, Sheath Underwear's 100% money-back guarantee. That's sheathunderwear.com, promo code DRUNK. Get Sheath Underwear. Support the show. Support your balls. It's a military vet, folks. Good person there.
Yeah.
Support him.
Robert Patton. If you haven't been given the bedroom performance you want, wishful thinking isn't going to make your dong hard, but Hims sure can. Hims provides men with access to affordable sexual health treatments with a range of doctor-trusted options like chewable tablets, Viagra, Cialis, and their generic option for up to 95% less.
Wow.
You'll be winning in the bedroom and with your bank account. The process is totally online, and if you're prescribed, shipping is free. It's time to get Hims and get the job done. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/drunk. That's HIMS.com/drunk for your personalized ED treatment options. Hims.com/drunk. Humorous.com/drunk. The featured product include compounded products which are not approved nor verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan. I don't know if I'm supposed to read that.
We all have that one. I'll start again. We've all had that one parlay that just didn't hit. If you're tired of throwing money at parlays you just have a feeling about, maybe it's time to check out the HOF app. Founded by a lifelong sports fan who happens to be Founded by lifelong sports fans who happen to be data nerds that graduated from Ivy League schools, HOF is the stats platform that gives you a leg up on Vegas by using historical data, matchup grades, and player performance insights. I love this stuff. You know I love it. I'm a big sports parlay fool. I love doing it. I think it's fun. It makes the game a little more exciting. I do it all the time. I usually keep it Knicks, but I mean... I'm going to start doing I'm going to spread it around more again. I get caught up in the Knicks. What can I say?
Yeah, spread the love.
The best part, the HOF app syncs automatically with the most major sports books like DraftKings and FanDuel. So once you built your parlay, you can send it straight to your sports book with one click, no manual entry, no wasted time. If you're putting some money down on sports and not using HOF, you're just leaving money on the table. For a limited time only, We Might Be Drunk listeners not only get a 7-day free trial, but they also get 50% off the first month when you use code DRUNK at checkout. Just download the HOF app on iOS or Android, enter code DRUNK, and you're all set.
Yeehaw! Hey, now more than ever, you've got to make the most out of every dollar. But it can feel overwhelming tracking, spending, and cutting costs. Take the guesswork out of budgeting and make smart decisions with Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower bills so you can grow your savings. See all of your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For subscriptions you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. This is huge for me. I sign up for something in 1941. I forget about it. Then I look at my bank statement. I've spent $9 million on a thing I don't even need or use or.
He's still paying for Bumble, this guy.
I know. Jesus Christ. So, get that stuff handled. You're just wasting money. Rocket Money's dashboard lets you easily create a personalized budget to help you keep your spending on track and know exactly where your money is going. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions. Wow. Saving members up to $740 a year when they use all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/drunk today. That's rocketmoney.com/drunk. rocketmoney.com/drunk.
Also, stopping drinking about a couple years, like maybe 2 years ago, that for me, drinking was like a pathway to food. Like people get the munchies with pot. I would get the munchies with a buzz, and I would just love to eat. Like eating was so joyful when I had a buzz. And
you're eating at 4 a.m, a piece.
And you're eating the worst shit.
Yeah.
Like and so when I stopped drinking, I just kind of, without realizing it or without any conscious effort, I was just eating less and better. So
I didn't know you quit. I didn't know you were sober.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. Just because of the heart stuff.
Oh, right. Damn. So what are you, an edible guy? You got to have a vice.
I know. I'm kind of searching for a vice.
Killing hookers.
I don't
gambling.
I don't. What'd you say? Ambien?
No, I said gambling, but I didn't realize he was going to throw out killing hookers before. Really.
He heightened you before you got.
I had it coming out as he said that. I was like, oh, gambling's not that bad. Not as bad as killing hookers. We could do both in Vegas.
That's true.
Or Reno.
Yeah.
AC.
Yeah.
I've tried both. They don't do it for me.
No.
But
that would suck to kill a hooker, and you're like, yeah, not for me.
Yeah, it's a waste.
Not my thing.
Yeah, I've tried getting to gambling, but I just lose every time, so I can't get into it because I never win.
I don't enjoy winning as much as I hate losing in gambling.
Yes.
So if I win,
I think you're right.
I'll do. I can do sports betting. I'll do like that's in my phone, and I still enjoy the game even if I lose. What I do is I bet on the Knicks, and I'm just like, all right, if they lose, I'll be mad anyway, so who cares if I lose some money?
True.
But if I'm playing like blackjack and I lose a few hundred, I'm just like fucking angry.
Yeah.
Same.
Well,
If I win, I'm just like whatever.
I think we spent so much time in Vegas on those hangover movies that I just got kind of bored of because we stayed at Caesar's Palace, and I would just be like, you're like walking through the casino, you're working your ass off, and any kind of like any feeling that like maybe some gambling would be fun, you're just too exhausted, and you're walking by it, and then you get kind of like sick of the noise and the smells and the vibe, and you're like, I just don't want to hang out in here. The other thing I realized though, playing, because I enjoyed playing blackjack, but I realized that you don't, that the whole idea of like making money gambling is such a myth, because you don't stop gambling until you lose.
Yes.
Right? So like it's something like clicked for me where I was just like, why do I never walk away from the table with money? And I was and it just, I was like, because it's not fun until, or it's like
you're up.
You don't have that tension until you're losing and you're getting angry. And then you're like, that's when you have to walk away.
Oh,
exactly.
When you're drunk and it's like 4 a.m. and you're just like, they're like, oh, we should leave. And you're like, all right, let me just throw it all on this next.
Yeah.
Yes.
What the hell am I doing?
I know. Just cash out. But that's too much work.
It's interesting that you spent all that time in Vegas for The Hangover, because you have to be kind of beaten down by the end of that movie. And you are probably beaten down just from being in Vegas.
Yes.
Well, there's a moment where Vegas gets sad. First you get to Vegas, you're like, whoa, the lights,
third day.
The noises, the money. And then after a while, you're like, this place is bumping. The respirator, the guy with the limp, the lady and the rascal. There's too many sad things.
And we were shooting in like parts of Vegas that you don't go, like people don't visit, and so we were getting a kind of sense of just, I don't know, like not so much an underbelly, but just kind of like not fun. Like these are parts of Vegas that are sort of like mundane city. And it's like hot and gritty.
Yes, and fat people. So many pigs.
Oh boy!
Can I ask about Todd Phil?
Of course.
The guy is like a phenom.
Yeah.
And I've listened to so many interviews with him where he hates the studio because they won't give him any money. They don't believe in him. Like he had to push for Galifianakis, I heard. And they were like, we don't know this guy. It's not good for the movie. We're trying to sell tickets. And he was like, no, he's great. And then, of course, he fucking killed it.
I mean, you say Caesar's Palace. That line is like, I think every time I see it, is this where the real Caesar lives?
Yeah. Is this real Caesar's Palace?
It's incredible.
And even made Joker, and Joker was awesome. We won't get into the sequel. But, the guy is so great. Do you think is he appreciated yet? Does he have the respect?
Gosh, I think so.
I hope so, but
look at how you're talking about it.
I feel like he's one of the greats.
Yeah,
I agree.
And not just in comedy. Like he's like, I just am so indebted to Todd, and I love the man so deeply. But I also, if I step back from that, I'm like, he's like Sidney Pollack level. Like he's like.
I agree. Old school.
But it's that combination of a guy who has delivered movies for the fans and the studios make money.
Yes.
Which is like a rare
broad comedies that
thing.
are actually really good.
Yeah. And not just broad comedies. I mean Joker too. Like
sure.
Like these are huge movies and huge endeavors, and like creative. It's like you just pour your whole life into these things for years, and he delivers.
So you think he was obsessed with like the Blues Brothers, the Animal Houses of the world, the Caddyshack? Was that his bread and butter as a kid?
I would say yes, but he had the kind of he had a little bit of a different. What am I trying to say? He had. So yes, he totally got all those movies, and he was very close with Ivan Reitman, and Danny Goldberg, who produced a bunch of like Animal House and other movies. He produced The Hangover.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So I think yes, all those movies informed Todd's comedy, but what really set The Hangover apart at that time was that he didn't shoot The Hangover like a comedy. He had the foresight to really make the movie feel and look like a gritty, almost like a Western or a mobster movie or something like an action thriller. And that was the sort of aesthetic of the movie.
You have a missing friend. Like, that is kind of dramatic, right?
Yeah, and then so the visual, and of course Larry Sher was the DP, and he's brilliant, and they're a unbelievable force of nature as collaborators. Larry also shot all 3 Hangovers. He shot both Jokers, and I think won an Oscar for the first one, right?
Oh, probably.
I think so. But anyway, Larry's a genius. So they just kind of figured out, like, if we shoot this comedy more like how Scorsese would shoot a movie, or like Casino, then it will heighten the comedy stakes so much more. And nobody had really done that until that moment. I think there was a lot that came after it that now when you look back at The Hangover, it might not feel that unique, or the look might not feel that unique. But when it came out, it was like, I think that look really startled people in an exciting way.
Yeah, it feels more legit. I mean, it's kind of like, is this Reitman or Landis? Like, what's the movie with Eddie Murphy? Trading Places.
Oh, Landis, yeah.
That is like a real movie that happens to be hilarious.
Yes, you're right.
It looks like a
Yeah.
movie.
We were talking about Landis 48 Hours the other day. Same thing. It's like a gritty
That's
movie.
not a comedy. That's
It's
like
funny.
Well,
that's like barely
it has
a
moments.
comedy. Yeah.
But Eddie Murphy's hilarious.
Yes, he has. There's a couple of big funny set pieces, but yes, Trading Places is so funny and so legit looking.
Yeah,
it's a very grounded look for an extremely silly movie.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man,
What else is like that? What are other movies that are like beautifully shot comedies?
Coming to America looks pretty cool too.
Yeah.
It looks like a real movie, but I think that's Landis as well.
Naked Gun? No.
Great movie. Airplane?
Yeah.
Trying to think.
I'm thinking like straight comedies though, because there's others you think like action comedies don't count.
That look good. You're saying?
Yeah.
Well,
Perfect Thunder was amazing.
yes, that's a good example.
That's a great one.
You know what else I think is like that is The Holy Grail. Monty Python's The Holy Grail, which Terry Gilliam directed, and
they did like 12 Monkeys as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, if you watch Holy Grail, like, it's grimy. It's like it looks medieval. Like they really committed. It's not like Camelot, where everybody's like everybody's in shiny nightclubs. Like John Cleese, I read, would get so exasperated because whenever they were setting up shots, Terry Gilliam was just like, more mud. More mud. Everybody's got to be more covered in mud.
Yeah.
And it I don't know, it heightens the comedy. Life of Brian is the same way. It looks like it's like gritty Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
It's like it looks like
dusty
Samaria, like ancient yeah, look at that. Everyone's filthy.
Yeah, they had a lot of mud on the bottom of those robes.
Yeah.
Now let's get to those.
By the way, that's Terry right there.
Where?
He's one of the to the right of he's one of the guys with the coconuts.
Oh, really?
So that's Terry Gilliam to
the shorter one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, those guys had a run.
Let's try just one or two.
Yeah, just pick a good one so we can really shit on you and make you feel horrible about this segment. Just kidding.
So these are fragments, right?
Okay.
So this time that I was just walking through an airport and a fan came up to me and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm such a big fan. Do you mind if I hug you?" And I said yes, and meaning like, yes, I mind.
Yeah.
Like I do have boundaries.
Right.
But she took it as like, yes, hug me, and she just went for it. There's something there.
There's something there. Well, maybe there's a gender thing.
Yeah, I gotta set it up a little better.
Also reminds me of the Seinfeld Kesha.
I know.
Yeah, she couldn't believe it. It was like her brain malfunction. Like, wait, what? I can't hug you?
I did kind of feel for her in that moment.
I did too, but I also loved every second.
Yeah, I love that he put the hand up.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I never said you could hug me. She couldn't believe it.
That could be a fight with the wife too. Just start hugging hot pop
Good
stars.
point. Oh, here she comes.
People are tired most of the time.
Women, I don't think hot women here know a lot.
No, thanks. No, thanks. Yeah, no, thanks.
Yes, it sucks being rejected.
I love that so much.
That's the best.
Oh,
Leno's
Jerry.
big chin in the back.
Yes.
Oh my God, that is it. Look at that. He is bloated there.
No thanks. No thanks.
thanks.
With the hand up.
hand.
Oh, so perfect.
And she even tried like 2 more times. And you're like, hey, no means no, sister.
Oh, Jer.
It's his birthday today.
Is it?
Fun
Oh,
fact.
there's an ice cream place in L.A. that's like an ice cream shop, and it says it's homemade ice cream, and I'm like, what does that mean? It's a store. This is no one's home.
Right.
Like, is there, unless you're sleeping in the back, and you're like, is this, do the people who work here like live here in the store?
Yeah.
That
Is there a nana working around the clock?
Yeah,
just
come on.
stirring
How is this
cream?
home? Or do they make it in their apartments?
Yeah.
Like,
It's like when a restaurant says hand cut fries, and you're like, "Ooh, I don't care, you cut them. Are they cut? Good. I don't care.
somebody cut their hand making my fries.
Or there's a bodega. It's like world famous bodega. You're like,
Yeah.
this will be gone in a year. There's a cat in here. What are you talking about?
Then you get like famous Rays,
Yeah,
famous original Rays, original Rays.
Yes, exactly.
It's a mess.
There's something to when I'm helping my kid with her homework, and like I know the answer, and it takes all of the restraint I have not to just be like 4 times 4 is 16. It's 16. It's just 16. Like, just write 16. Like
Yeah.
there's something
You gotta work
there's
through
something in me that has to like prove I know these like a child's homework.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd be a bad teacher. You know?
Oh, I'd be terrible.
Teachers, they have to guide.
Yes.
Like most people, you just want to be like, no, what are you fucking dumb?
Yeah.
This is
or
the answer.
or like when my kid is reading and she's like still in learning phase of reading, and she's like struggling with a word, and you're just like, it's pickle. The word is pickle. It's just pickle. And that's not good parenting.
Right.
Like, you have
It
to
must be
let-
like when you're struggling at your therapist, and their therapist knows the answer.
Oh,
He's like,
yeah.
you just
Your
want to fuck
mother.
your mom.
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
I have that. You ever throw on Jeopardy and it's the kids' Jeopardy? I'm like, oh, I got this. I'm just like, Cleveland, isosceles, Finger Lakes.
Celebrity Jeopardy's an easy one too.
Oh, they're dumber than the
good.
kids.
That's a good one. Kids versus the celebs.
Ooh,
That might be a show.
I like that. Paris Hilton versus a 4-year-old.
She gets crushed.
These are solid.
Yeah, these- yeah,
there's stuff
They're
there.
premises, and I like that you're still writing them down here.
Yeah,
This is good.
I had a this is a fragment. And
It's pickle. No,
I think
I'm
it
kidding.
turns into I think this would turn into one of those like Brian Regan type performances, but I've been accused of falling asleep with my eyes open and like snoring with my eyes open, which is just an incredibly disturbing visual. Podcasts are an audio medium, but just the idea of like seeing someone like in an airplane seat who's just like
That's
do they
terrifying.
not know that they're doing like, because you look awake,
Right.
like why are you making that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so disturbing.
You got to put on sunglasses like at all times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or sleep mask. Do
Yeah.
you do that really?
It's happened.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's a weird. Yeah,
That is creepy.
like I think I fall asleep with my eyes closed, but then they kind of like they open a little bit, just a little. It's like a
Yeah.
sliver. But
You'll never get robbed on it if you pass out on a park bench. You're like, that guy's
Yes,
up.
yeah. But if I'm
He's-
snoring, it's very confusing.
That's what Cosby would look for. Their eyes open. He's like, I'm innocent.
Right. Okay, these are solid,
not
man.
bad.
All right. Thanks.
I got a show tonight if you want to pop on.
All right. Yeah, I'll open for you.
No, he's serious. He's got a
Right,
the
the
comedy
cellar.
cellar. Yeah.
It's just 10 minutes.
That's awesome. I
no pressure.
can't do it.
Okay.
Are you doing a ton of press today?
Yes. Yeah, I've been bouncing around. I did what did I do? First I did The View and I did
A lot of Cosby jokes there. They have a lot of fun.
what else? Oh, what did I do, Matt? I am totally blanking.
Oh, hey, Matt, we forgot you were here.
Oh yeah.
There's 3 Matts over there.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a whirlwind.
Nice.
Yeah.
We won't keep you too long, but
But
No,
yeah,
this is good. This is like I got a nice comfy bench. I've got coconut water.
This bench is not comfy.
Delightful company. I have a rotary phone.
Yes.
It's very comforting.
Peps it if you
Very
need
nostalgic.
Get the book, folks.
Get the book.
Snafu, baby.
Yeah. I'm really proud of it. I truly am like kind of still can't believe that I wrote a book. And,
Yeah.
And it's funny.
What's
It's actually good.
What's the secret? Do you sit there and go, I'm doing 5 pages tonight?
Well, the nice
Doing 10.
the nice thing about this book is that it's not a novel. It's
Mm-hmm.
like each chapter is a sort of capsule episode.
Yeah.
And that I find very manageable.
Mm-hmm.
Like just doing these tiny chunks. Yeah, I don't know if I have a novel in me. That feels profoundly.
It's always weird when you find out like politicians or someone have like like Stacey Abrams
Yeah.
has a side hustle.
Lots
it's just
of
like
novels.
she just writes like a ton of books. Or
Yeah.
like doesn't Jake Tapper write?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe it.
yeah.
It's
he's
so
prolific.
weird.
Yeah,
It's crazy to me that you get off your news show and then you're like, I'm gonna write a mystery.
Yeah.
It's insane to me.
I assume they hate their spouse because that's so time consuming to do TV. Like Bill O'Reilly has like 38 books or something.
Yeah.
But who are you?
Jesus.
J.K. Rowling?
Who's the famous legal thriller writer? Grisham. So he started out. He was a lawyer, and he started out waking up at like 3 a.m. just because he had these ideas and just to get these
amazing.
books out of himself.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, his publisher's like, you can quit your day job.
Wow.
And he became one of the great thriller writers.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think it's either book writing or golf. Those are the 2 time-consuming adult activities.
Or gardening.
Gardening's big.
Gardening's a big one.
When's your book coming out, guys?
We got nothing.
Oh, I
No, but-
don't believe it.
Maybe when I'm like break my leg or something at a ski accident, I'll write a book.
I won't. I'll turn into Jimmy Stewart in Rear Window. I'll break my leg and I'll spy on the neighbors. That's what I'm gonna do. It's a murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The original true crime.
Oh, are we wrapping? Yeah, buy Ed Helms' book. Listen to his podcast. I'm gonna
Yes.
listen to Snafu too. I
I
want to
will
hear
too.
this. Yeah, I'm excited to hear this, man. And
I need a new pod.
yeah, awesome, man.
So, Sam, you have some dates here?
Yeah, what do we got? Rochester coming up, Portchester, Albany. Wait, is this me?
Yeah.
No, this is Mark.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yep, it's Mark.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to Rochester or Portchester this soon.
All right, Mark, start here, June
Lucky.
6th.
I'm going to Rochester,
going
Portchester,
there.
Albany, Vermont, Wisconsin, Oregon, San Jose, Hyannis, Mass. at the Melody Tent, Mashantucket. That's at the Foxwoods Casino.
Yeah.
Parks Casino in Ben Salem, and then I'm off to Australia for a whole run of shows, and then New Zealand. What do you got, Sammy?
When is this coming out?
18th.
Let me see where we got.
There we go. Start July
Okay,
10th.
so we got Red Bank, New Jersey, Count Basie Theater, the Wilbur in Boston in August. Then we got Irvine Improv in Cali, Oklahoma City. Love going to that club. It's really good. Vegas, I'm doing the Venetian. Then we got
busy.
we're
We
busy.
work. No time for-
I am going to Rochester, but
No!
I'm not doing a thing. I'm doing a bunch of club dates at the club there. And then we got
Ooh,
Chicago Theater's a fun one.
Hey.
October 4th, Salt Lake City, and the big one, Carnegie Hall, baby, December 4th. So see you there. Buy Bodega Cat Whiskey.
Yes.
BodegaCatWhiskey.com. If you got a bar, hit us up. Buy Ed Helms' book, Snafu, wherever you get books.
Any movies in the hopper?
Yeah, I'm going to be shooting something this summer in Vancouver.
Nice.
Wait, who's going to Foxwoods? I think I did Foxwoods.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Connecticut.
Once I got on the Daily Show, of course, and I was on TV. I had a TV gig, so like my stand-up booking options just exploded.
Oh yeah.
And I had a booker, and she was like, "Yeah, you can do this big casino." It was one of the ones in Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
I think it was Foxwoods.
Fox was Mohegan Sun.
But
the other one.
It might have been Mohegan Sun.
Okay.
And I was like, "Amazing! This is so great." And then I was so busy on the show that I didn't get I couldn't keep doing stand up
Right.
to practice for this my first giant headlining gig at a casino. And I'll never forget.
Uh-oh.
I had a really rough set, and because I also had almost never done an hour before.
Oh,
and that was or 50 minutes, whatever the required amount. Had a rough set the first night, and I had 3 nights to go, and the next morning there was a little Mohegan Sun newspaper that they put under everybody's door,
Oh,
and they had written there was a review of my show
Oh,
in the
no.
Mohegan, and it was rough night for comedian.
Oh,
And
man.
I was like, guys, I got 3 more shows.
Oh no!
in your hotel.
Oh, boy.
Damn.
Anyway,
That'll
fun
sell
stuff.
tickets.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, awesome.
Casinos are notoriously rough.
They can be
Don't
tough.
do
Yeah,
that.
because there's no sound. It's like
Yeah.
it's just like a vacuum of.
Yeah, and they
yeah.
just want people to gamble more. So you're just kind of like a hold off till they watch your show, they hate themselves, and then they gamble.
And they hate themselves some more.
That's true.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you,
Take
Ed.
it
Can I
easy.
hug you? No.
Get over here.
Sunday's the day for my next offender. A bit of Peverek, you know the beer juice close. I've had a little too much bourbon, and Norman's talking shit about the fucking Pope. And I get down in the same way. Up on the roof like a cop's coming, and naked Samuel is feeling dangerous. I'm out to lunch here in New Orleans. This woman doesn't look like I remember her, and I